Thank you for taking the time.
No, thanks for having me.
So, yeah, I run a big Stephen King fan site, just to let you know who you're talking to.
I'm very familiar with you. Thanks for the
Ah,
work you do.
cool. Thank you. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
I love it. I
located.
love it. I
I'm
see you
lo
on Twitter every once in a while.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm located in Sweden, so if my English isn't 100%, you know why.
It sounds better than my Swedish.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so The Long Walk. Um, I had the opportunity to watch it, so I've seen it, and I'm very impressed with it. The book is one of my favorite books, so I have to confess that I was a bit nervous when I was about to see the movie. I so wanted it to be good,
Yeah, I
and
feel you.
a lot of Stephen King movies doesn't really live up to the book's expectations, maybe. But I feel that this movie really did, so I'm extremely happy with it. Um, but how did you get involved with this writing the script for it?
Uh, I just finished writing and directing a movie called Strange Darling, and I was in post-production on that movie, and I was very burnt out and very tired from directing the film. It was a arduous process, and I was talking to my producer, Roy Lee, and he said, "What do you want to do next?" And I said, "I'd like to write something for somebody else, so I don't have to worry about an entire production." And I said, "Of course, I want to direct another movie, but I need to recharge and just be at the keyboard for a little while." So a couple days later, he said, "I have the rights to The Long Walk, and I was wondering if you'd like to write it for Francis Lawrence." And I said, "Of course." And so then I had to meet Francis and convince him that I was the guy for the job, and we had a really great meeting, and the movie he wanted to make is the movie I wanted to write. So the rest is history.
Yeah, was it scary to do a Stephen King movie based on how crazy we fans can be and demanding that it should be the right movie and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was scary because I'm one of them,
Yeah.
and I'm one of those people who goes to see these movies and I'm disappointed 70% of the time. And even when they're good, I don't always think they're faithful enough to the themes of his books. And you can always tell when somebody who's not, you can always tell when somebody makes a Stephen King movie who's not a Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I feel like only, constant readers should make Stephen King movies. And I know Francis is. And so that made me feel good. And I knew I was. So I really did feel like I was the best guy for the job. I knew some of my heroes had tried in the past, people like Frank Darabont, and I would have loved to have seen his version too. But since those versions weren't going to happen, I really felt like I was the right guy for the job, and it wasn't until I began to write that I realized how daunting the task was because it's 100 walkers, and the version I have is over 400 pages, and it's one of those things where I started wrestling with how am I going to make this cinematic and work in an under 2 hour format for the big screen and also not piss off all the fans. And so it was tough, but I feel like every decision we made was always in the spirit. Even the changes were always in the spirit of Stephen King's original themes and DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the most important scenes is for me it was when the first kill happens, and then you realize that the walkers really understand what they have given themselves into, because in the beginning you have a little problem understanding why would they put themselves through this, and then you realize that they don't really believe that they are going to die. They think that they are going to go on this walk, and all of a sudden someone's going to say, okay, let's take a break for the night, and everyone go home. But when you have that scene when the first kid is shot, it's really dawning on them that this is really for real, and what they have gotten themselves into. So I think that is one of the most important scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah, it's the naivety of youth. You know,
Yeah,
when you're in your teens, you think you're invincible, and you always think the odds, no matter how great, are in your favor.
yeah.
And I think they all felt that way until they see the first death, and then they have a very quick loss of innocence and coming of age, all in one moment.
How did you feel about that? Because the ending of the book is probably a divider between fans. Some really like it and some hate it that they don't know what's happening. How did you tackle that part of the script?
It's not unpredictable. It's not subversive necessarily narratively, but it is in a thematic way because it's so ambiguous. So I think that in the book you expect the winner to be who the winner is, and then it's that whole question, like in the Scrooge story. Was it all worth it? Like you have this prize, you have this money, but all your friends are dead, and so I think those themes in the book really spoke to me, and they spoke to Francis. But um, I thought that for the constant readers, it would be interesting to have something else happen, just so it wasn't the exact same experience. And I also, we really wanted to focus on that central love story between the two main characters, and I feel like um, it just gave the new ending gave a lot of opportunity to show kind of love and loyalty and sacrifice and the emotions that come with feeling that strongly about somebody else, and finding a match, in a way. So I felt really good about it, but I wanted to make sure that Francis liked it. And obviously, I mean, it's his movie, so we couldn't have done it if he didn't like it. And he liked it, and he had some ideas about it. And we kind of formed the version you see now through a lot of conversations. But then we had to share the idea with Stephen King. And that was the scariest part, those 48 hours that I had to wait to see if he liked it. And when he did, I knew we'd made the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also shows that throughout the movie, and in the beginning, it's always all the talk about the money, and that's the important thing. And then when you come closer to the end, the money isn't really that important anymore.
Mm.
The it isn't worth anything if you don't survive. So yeah, that's a good turn on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all learn over the course of the walk, as so many of us do in life, that it's the relationships that matter, it's the moments that matter, and it's very simplistic, actually. But it should be an easy thing for humans to understand. But
Yeah,
so many humans don't grasp that till it's too late, you
yeah,
know? Somebody, you could be a billionaire at 95, but if all your friends and family are gone, it doesn't seem like it's worth anything. I wouldn't think, at least. And
yeah,
I think those were really great, very compelling themes from the book that I wanted to bring along to the film for sure.
yeah.
Very mature themes for a kid writing it at 19, It was really
Yeah. And the movie is very violent. I was surprised and happy because I know that Stephen King has said in interviews that that was one of his demands, that you should really show the violence and not hold back.
Mhm.
And I think that's a good idea, because it, as with the scene where the first kill is happening, it really gives the movie credibility and you believe in what's happening. If you had shy away from that, I don't think it would have been that credible. Is that along the lines what you were thinking as well, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to write it if Francis wasn't the kind of guy who wanted to make this movie. I think if anybody wanted to make it a PG movie where the violence wasn't depicted honestly, I think that would have been kind of obscene and disrespectful to the subject matter. And the fact that Stephen King felt that way and Francis felt that way, it wasn't just a relief; it was like a necessity. And that's just the way I feel about violence in general. Like
Mhm.
I don't need to have it in everything I write or everything I do. And one day I'll probably make a film that has no violence in it. But if you're gonna show violence, I want to depict it honestly and brutally, and it should turn your stomach because because that's violence,
Yeah,
and it's a very serious thing and a very heavy thing, um, and you should never get desensitized to it.
Yeah, yeah, it's very well done. Um, One little bit nerd question. Was it
Mm.
ever any talk about promoting it as a Richard Bachman movie?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like the painter of the house. I'm not the realtor, or I don't know what I'd be. If Francis is the architect, I'm one of the builders. I don't know, but I don't know. Marketing and all that I have nothing to do with it, and especially on a movie I didn't direct. So I doubt it because Stephen King on his own is such a legend and such a marketable element.
Yeah,
King's name on this poster it's the kind of movie that I think it would be tough for a movie like this to find an audience because it's so heavy and so dark and so brutal. And the fact that it, opens and competes at the box office and does really well, did really well domestically this weekend. I think that's a testament, quite honestly, to Stephen King and his brand, and also, Francis Lawrence, who directed The Hunger Games. But it's the kind, I think without that kind of branding on this movie, it would have been maybe too dark for people to show up for.
yeah, 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 yeah. I would like to end with a question about your future. You're doing Tom Gordon next, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, another Stephen King movie.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in it right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna, these are my
Wow.
notes. Yeah, I'm as soon as I get off with you and the next interview I do, I'm gonna switch to this other window here, which is Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, and keep plugging away on that screenplay, which I'm having a great time writing. I've been with Trisha in the woods all summer, so I'm looking forward to finishing.
Are you do you want to be the new Stephen King movie maker like Darabont who did a few and Mike Flanagan who did a few or do you not want to get in that box so to speak?
No, I don't think I want to be that because Stephen King. I mean, I worship the ground Mike Flanagan or Frank Darabont walks on. I love Mike Flanagan. He's made some of the greatest Stephen King adaptations ever, and that's a hell of a path to take to do a lot of Stephen King movies. So it surely could be worse. I think that so much of my writing and everything I do as an artist has been informed by Stephen King because I grew up reading him. My first book was Carrie when I was 7 years old, and his writing style has informed my writing style, and his honest depictions of brutality have informed that for me, and the way he draws characters. And so, what he influenced me to do was be creative and come up with things. And so, I think that what I'm best at is coming up with things and being creative and coming up with original stories. So there's a few Stephen King stories that I've had a dream of adapting for many, many years. And there will still be ways in which I make them my own with his approval, of course. The reason I want to make Tom Gordon is because I have a very, very strong point of view on like how that could be brought to life now. And it's my mom's favorite book. So I've
Mm.
always wanted to make it for her. And I think it'll be an amazing experience. I'd kill to make the Dark Tower series, but I think Flanagan's already got to that one first.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't, if I get to, if I get to make movies, hopefully for decades to come, because it's what I love to do most in the world. To love movies more than anything except my family. If I'm lucky enough to be able to make movies for years and years and years, I'd love to the honor of making a few Stephen King movies, but no, do I want to adapt all his novels? No, I don't even feel I don't even feel like I'm the guy for that. I feel uncomfortable doing that, and I want to share my original stuff with Stephen King and see if I can get his approval on that as well, because I look up to him and admire him in such a way. So, but if I get to adapt a few of his books. It'll be a true honor. And I'm working on, my second official one right now, and it's been really, really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's anything like The Long Walk, I know we will be very happy with Tom Gordon as well.
Thank you. I really hope so. I like Trisha means so much to me, and this I've had this story in my head for so long,
Yeah.
back in the late 90s, when I first read it, when it came out, I guess it was 98 or 99, and I was not even anywhere close to becoming a professional filmmaker. I remember telling my mom, like, if I ever get to direct movies, I'm going to make this one for you. And all these decades later, the dream has come true. So it's really exciting.
So extra pressure. You have to please your mom, every Stephen King
Yeah.
fan, and Stephen King.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
please them all, so I'm just going to do my best to write a good screenplay and make a good movie, and hopefully everybody likes it.
I'm sure it will be perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time talking to me. It was a pleasure.
Of course, thank you for all the work you do, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.